Someone like. And I
I'm
didn't
telling
even
you,
find it.
Time's dog
That
is
was
very nice.
Tina.
Yeah, I found the picture for sheep. Well, the thing is, you could Dark and Sheep's picture actually look kind of alike, so you can kind of say, oh, they are brothers.
They are. They have the same haircut,
The same face.
the same expression. It's like,
I should be good to go now. Naturally, I overcompensated and made you assholes too loud, and no one needs to hear loud Europeans, right?
you know, who needs to hear the DM after all?
I just hear like mumbling, and Grimith says, and then I do this. And you're like, oh, profound.
And the comments go wild, no doubt.
Rah, 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 rah.
All right, are we ready to start?
You know, I would ask you that.
Excellent. Let's start.
You know, in retrospect, maybe.
Let's move it back.
Could I change my character? You know, I thought about playing an alchemist bard instead.
Oh, okay, right.
An alchemist bard. So you're get a multi-class from level 1?
Yeah. I'm doing a supplement that allows a hybrid class.
Yes.
Oh, Gestalt character.
Nascent.
It's all very.
I'll play with Quidster.
So, hello and welcome to Throne of Night, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Are you gonna like spring like a different adventure path surprise on us, like
yes,
just in case
you thought, but instead,
just in case you went out and bought Throne of Night? I'll fool you all.
Exactly. We're
playing Rise of the Rune Lords as Drow. What?
We're playing The Adventures of Dristo Erden because I heard that Grimith loves R.A. Salvatore stuff.
Well, this was a fun month, a great mental exercise, everyone. I'm gonna go back to having fun with my life now.
All the flavor text is actually excerpts from Drist stuff here. So I hope you like the flowery prose.
I do not, in fact, enjoy R.A. Salvatore.
Then you're saved by a drow with 2 scimitars, who then take all the light while
exactly, he just shows up and becomes
carry my stuff while I do cool stuff.
Oh,
all right.
Okay. So
what is shell, except for a slave? Beside that, what is shell?
What is shell? Like who is shell? Maybe.
No. What is shell?
What is shell? What you're gonna have to define that question better for me.
What race, I guess?
Yeah, race.
She is an orc?
Doesn't she have wings?
No, that would be a statue in the background.
I thought it was a dude.
Same thing, really.
I'm so awkward with these things. I thought it was a dude.
A dude with incredibly odd, mammary glands.
I couldn't see that for her name tag.
Oh, okay.
Need to make him bigger, clearly.
Clearly.
So yes, Throne of Night. Well, I would say that this kind of something like this was teased like all the way back at the end of Summer Fun, and also we were teasing something like this by the end of Age of Darkness. So I've thought to just quickly introduce what is Throne of Night. I just thought I was gonna speak on that for a minute. So basically, Throne of Night is a Underdark campaign set in the Pathfinder world of Golarion. It is described as a sandbox adventure path with clear sort of influences from the Kingmaker campaign released some years ago by Paizo. So basically, it is a campaign where you are sort of expected to forge an empire underneath the surface, basically, and this is what we're going to try to be doing here. We're like starting out, of course, with the first part of this. I should say this is a published adventure path by Fire Mountain Games, and on earlier. Well, not earlier this year, because that would be kind of difficult, but last year, me, Manikai, Sheep, DTS, and Tina started playing their first Fire Mountain Games' first adventure path, Way of the Wicked, and we have been playing that for a while and recorded sessions and stuff and put up. But then Fire Mountain Games also released this one, and they've sort of promised this, Kingmaker campaign in the Underdark, and I thought to myself, well, that sounds very interesting. I have never DM'd an Underdark campaign before. And since different things happened with the old Kingmaker campaign for us, a lot of players left and it sort of fell apart. I thought that, we should perhaps try this again. And since, again, we can't really continue the Summer of Fun because players have left and disappeared there as well, this was basically what I came up with. So I asked around and everyone said yes. Of course, we love Underdark and Drow and evil and king making. So
and a check for $200.
And a check for $200. So I guess here we are. So I thought before we begin here that everyone in the party quickly presents themselves and their character for the other members of the group, but also for people watching. So how about we start with Manikai?
Yes, of course. Give them the best first, shall we? I am Manikai. I have, some of you might know me from other streams or Let's Plays of primarily Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, where we're the DM of Age of Darkness. And after that, I also DM the Way of the Wicked game on Rahal's channel.
Click on the annotation here.
Exactly.
Like a big one covering the entire screen.
Yep, just blinking all out over the session.
Only it disappears if you click it, so you might as well. Yes. I play Elineri Vitheria. She is my character, and she is a wonderful woman destined to be the queen of all there is to be queen of. She's a cleric of Agaris, which is our Drow house demon lord. The demon lord we all sort of more or less follow. And she grants my character her powers, and my character looks to her for guidance in her quest to rule all. Yeah.
Okay, then we continue with DDS.
Very well. I am Dark Destiny Soul, or DDS by how some people refer to me, because my name's too long. And yeah, I've been Jonas' Summer of Fun campaign, the Way of the Wicked campaign, and I occasionally DM some stuff. But yeah, my character is Rayan Calatheria, who is a drow fighter, who is acting as basically trying to guard the most notable people in our family, trying to keep the bloodline going.
Okay, then we keep rolling here with Sheep.
Yes, my name is Sheep, or also known as SMW. I've also been part of the Way of the Wicked and Summer Fun with my gnome, which I can't really play in this campaign because Drow. My character is Zin Vefaria. He is a ranger, and he definitely wants to get the house back to where it belongs, which is at the very top. But to do that, he also knows that he unfortunately has to work together with the rest of his family members. And yeah, that should suffice.
Very well. Tina.
Hello, I am Tina, known as Tina, and I bet no one really knows who I am, except I do play in Way of the Wicked on Rahal's channel with almost all of these guys except for Grimith. No hard feelings, Grimith. I play Trislin, who is... She wants the family back too, but for her sometimes it's already there. In her head, we're kind of still... She lives in the past in her head, and she is a little oblivious. Talks a little to herself and her eidolon. She's been weird since she was able to talk. And for some in the group, she seems like the weakest because of her weirdness. But she's pretty carefree and very happy. In her head, we are in the past and we rule.
Okay. And Grimith.
Two. Fine, I'll introduce myself to all of you. My character is, of course, Rahal Vitharia, the first among Vitharians, the first child, the most important child, for he was tasked by dear Mom, in between all of the blood rituals and crazy demonic worship and sacrifices, to watch over the family, because otherwise they would let their baser instincts take over and they'd all fall apart like a house of cards, and they would be dumb. Rillinid assumes this role with as much joy and pleasure as he can take, and his entire life is constructed around the grand idea of seeing the family rise to the top. Now, little Shell over there, I made a little brief history for her that you folks can check out in the token description by typing that in. Long story short, Rillinid acquired her at a caravan that passed through Vothis almost 2 years ago, shortly after the new Baroness arrived. She was a great long-term project on account of being bored. The same night he bought her, she escaped from her manacles and nearly killed him, perhaps due to treachery, magic, or luck. And so Rillinid has vowed that after defeating her, as he is wont to do, because he is a Vivalier, he has vowed that she would remember her mistake for the rest of her very long life. Rillinid plans on keeping her alive for a long time. As for Rillinid's class, he's an acquisitioner. He acquisits things, because acquiring is just too bland.
Yes. Clearly. Okay. So, you all then belong to the fallen House Vitharia. House Vitharia was a small but very successful house in the drow capital of Terisia. Located somewhere in the Asathir, or the web, as the drow call it. It is a vast section of the Underdark. And House Vitharia, as I said, small, upstart house, but a very willful matron who was quite ingenious and creative in her ways, with pacts and alliances and rituals and magic, very powerful. And she almost single-handedly wrested the house from the gutters and sort of took it to the rise of prominence in Terisia. But then something happened. A few decades after you were born, what would that be, pentuplets? Is that a thing?
That would be what you're looking for.
All right, the pentuplets, who she forced upon the spirit of cooperation. Very unusual for a drow house, but she did, and she enforced this by enacting various blood rituals, basically telling them as long as they work together, the blessing of the mother would be upon them. But if anyone ever betrayed the other, a terrible curse would befall them. This has kept you in check for several years, and none of you have really moved against the other yet for fear of the curse. So what happened to House Vitharia? Well, it's kinda unknown, honestly. The matron suddenly vanished. One day she was just gone, and barely was she gone that all of House Vitharia's enemies descended upon it from every direction to basically rip it apart. Without the powerful matron at the head, the house was lost, and the pentuplets of the matron were forced to flee. Flee from all of the enemies of the house, flee from all of these enemies hunting them personally, because they are marked for greatness by the demon lord Agarus, and these ominous portents mark them, as very dangerous for the enemies. And as the house crumbled around them, the pentuplets ran, and they ran as far as they could to the only place basically that would take them in, a small border keep called Vothis, located in the upper layers of the Asathir. It is a backwater station. No one comes to Vothis on free will. It is mainly inhabited by the cast out, the abandoned, the ones that need to run somewhere, or the ones that are too dangerous or prominent to simply assassinate. You either promote them or dump them to Vothis to forget about them. Vothis guards the upper Asathir and the sort of great entrance to the lower layers of the Underdark to keep the enemies of Great Teresia at bay. Problem is, though, there's not much to do in Vothis. The old Baron of the keep was not really a friend of House Vitharia, but at least he was merciful enough, or perhaps bribed enough, or perhaps scared enough to allow the pentuplets to seek shelter within his walls. And there you have remained for decades. Many of you bored out your minds. Some of you have taken up professions to be useful or to just pass the time. Others have indulged in introspection and grand plans for how to sort of reenact the glorious reawakening of House Vitharia. But for now, you are very much alone and very much without much power or influence at all. Anyone in Teresia who would see you would almost surely either sell you out or kill you on sight. Still, a safe place, a safe life in Vothis, not the worst thing that could happen. However, a few years back, the old Baron was retired in typical Drow fashion and replaced by a new ruler, the Baroness Satha Sevastia. Her exact background is a somewhat of a mystery. She keeps a lot to herself, but the sort of dominating theory is that she was the sort of on the receiving end of a coup d'etat or a power struggle that she lost. But she was too influential or too well connected to simply assassinate, and thus were, like so many before her, promoted into obscurity of office. The sort of old allies or old friends you had made over the years, she has quickly taken away from you, and established that she is indeed the undisputed tyrant of Vothis, and all live or die by her grace. So it was something of a surprise when she actually summoned you at last. But you knew that something was certainly up. You had seen sort of a gathering of forces in Vothis, rounding up of the refugee or commoners camp, and something a gathering of a militia, it would seem. And when you were called before Lady Sath of Vothis, her plan seemed a bit more obvious, so to speak. And she said this: "I have an errand for you. The deep gnome quarry town of Festervold has two things that I desire: stone and slaves. You will seize them for me. I have assembled an army of 100 fine warriors. I put them under your command. That should be more than enough soldiers to brush aside the pitiful defenses. Even better, their ruler, Lord Gurney, is a simpleton who believes that he can placate us with treaties and supplications. My generosity does not cease here, for I have gifts." She, at this point, indicated one of the pampered courtiers next to her, who quickly moved towards the leader of the group, which would have been, of course, Olenari. and handed over 2 small boxes. In the first box, there was 3 small red jewels that sort of glimmered menacingly in the dark. And the Baroness explained that these small jewels, when thrown to the ground, will shatter and summon forth fire elementals. Amusing trinkets, to be sure, and hopefully useful to you. And she smiled, an icy smile full of malice. In the other small chest was a collection of potions to keep you in good health, as the Baroness said, again with her icy smile. And then she turned to you. This errand should be simple enough even for the likes of you. Do this for me and return, and I shall have you all rewarded. It is with her parting words in your ears that you have set out from Vothus to meet up with this force that apparently you are supposed to control. You have a map as far as accurate as the Drow can make it of the Upper Asathir, and you know the location of the current staging point for this army you have been given command of, and so you set forth south through the Upper Asathir, through the hidden road of the Drow, called also the Military Road. And you have been traveling down this road for quite a number of days, when sort of finally you make out of it and can set forth for real into the Underdark to meet your army, to conquer the gnomes, and perhaps realize your destiny. You can copy your tokens.
Copied.
Copied. Do we have the permanent bless buff thing?
Yes, as part of the tremendous magical power that your mother weaved into you. As long as all of these siblings fight together in the same battle, on the same battlefield, all of you are subject to a permanent bless spell.
Okay.
So the potions we were given.
Yes, they are 5 cure medium wounds potions.
Well, that isn't ominous at all.
I thought you said 3. Oh well. Maybe I was misremembering from whenever you read
No,
out the blurb the first time.
3 jewels of fire elementals.
Okay. Okay.
So I've got that.
Alright.
Shoot now. Oh.
Now we have square tokens on an hexagonal map.
Yeah, but if we're lucky, these fit so that we can be like, all be inside it, right?
It should hopefully work.
Let's see, so where are we at the moment? We must be like down the dark road?
Yes, you are traveling south through the dark road to the army staging area.
Right.
In Hex 0412.
That's really far. Wow.
Yes, it is.
Oh, 412. Place. No.
Wrong tile, Grimith.
We obviously can't stack all on the same tile, DDS.
There's not even a road there.
So how long did this trip take from Vothus down the dark road to the army staging area?
It is 8 miles, and it sort of depends on your sort of overland movement speed. The dark road is rather cramped, and you can only travel at single file, but it is free of debris, and there are certainly like small caverns where you can stay and rest. It is also patrolled by other drow patrols sent out from Vothus. So let's see, I think you all have 30 feet, right? As
Correct.
Astral spin, so let me... Oh, where did I put that?
Yeah.
Was a very handy sort of exploration rule set used in Kingmaker. I'm looking for where I actually put that paper. Damn it. How did I lose this? Hang on, give me a minute.
That's all right.
And there he went, never to return again.
Might as well activate the bless effects. And
Yeah,
try
I just did that as well. What does
I guess
Bless
it
even do?
doesn't-
+1 to...
+1 to
attack
hit.
rolls?
And against fear, I think. Yeah, attack rolls against fear.
Yeah, against fear.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I now only have a -1 to hit, so that's good. That's good.
Your problem has been solved.
I would rather
Right.
have it on my Eidolon, though.
It's not part of the family, though. So.
Yes, for me.
I mean, technically they share a part of the same soul by the rules.
I don't know. So if the Eidolon isn't summoned, we're not complete.
That'd be awkward.
Okay, so here we go. Traveling time across one hex at 30 feet is 5 hours.
That's a lot of hours.
Yes.
Would be worse, given what I imagine was like difficult terrain and us going up and down and all around. But I'm cool with that.
It is, in difficult terrain, it certainly takes a longer time, but the Dark Road is considered sort of normal terrain because of the amount of clearing work the Drow have over these centuries put into it.
Sweet.
Yes. All right.
Oh, and Jonas, I made sure no one else can see that.
Yes, yes.
See what?
Exactly.
We will find out eventually. Maybe.
The DM roll about something. So that Jonas knows when Grimith poisons us all. But we don't.
Game, everyone. Glad we spent a month preparing for this.
I will send you a chunk of text, Grimith. Hang on.
Of text.
Of text.
We're not even through the first half hour of the first session, and I'm
I
already
know.
getting private messaging. This is great.
It's starting all over again.
Well, I guess the rest of us will just wait then.
Here we
Well,
go.
you all can just do character interaction. I mean, we've obviously taken many days to go through this.
Yeah, we have. Elinari certainly is actually very much looking forward to getting to this saging area. She has been rather bored in Bothas, trying to, of course, find stuff to do. She likes her privacy in that manner a lot. She will usually go into her room and lock it and refuse to let anyone in for hours at a time. But now she seems very sort of energetic and very happy to be moving towards actually doing something. And it seems that whatever is on her mind, whenever someone talks to her, it is more of a not really a let's go kill some gnomes. It's more of a what part of the plan is this? What are we supposed to do exactly? And she seems to be very thinking a lot about this, how to react to this exactly. But it didn't come expectedly. I didn't expect to be asked to do this. Go on this whole trip, that is.
Indeed.
Yeah, then we'll definitely point out to the other family members that this entire ordeal seems somewhat strange, since the family is not exactly liked by the Baroness. So it seems very strange that they get assigned an army to attack a bunch of gnomes that are supposed to have treaties and trade with Woffers, but suddenly the Baroness just wants to attack them. Seems very strange to him.
Ordinary will remark that we have been given actual equipment to aid this, and if she wanted rid of us, wouldn't there have been an easier way?
Tristlan's going, you silly, not without it looking suspicious.